They're making a live-action Powerpuff Girls.
No!
And it's going to be a TV series.
God, please, no!
And it's going to be on the CW.
No!
So this sounds like the worst idea ever conceived. So of course it's real. As if the CW could ever run out of superhero shows to do, so they have to go into the Cartoon Network to find a new superhero show? You own DC Comics! But no, the real reason I think why they chose the Powerpuff Girls is because it's really easy to adapt into live action, mostly just because of their powers. Their powers are very like Supergirl-esque. Very easy stuff to do, like, you know, super strength, flying, breath of air, all the stuff that they're already used to doing with the Supergirl series, while as there's a lot of other stuff that's harder to adapt into live action because it requires CGI, which looks bad, which scares away viewers. And unfortunately, there are a lot of superpowers that require CGI to look like the way they should in a live-action version. But this sounds like such a horrible idea, so bad. Obviously nobody asked for a Powerpuff Girls live-action series. The original Powerpuff Girls was incredibly popular, but it's never really meant to be taken in a serious tone. Like, part of the humor behind the show is the fact that these three little preschool girls have superpowers and they're incredibly dangerous and deadly. And this would not be the only time where they've tried to reboot the Powerpuff Girls. You guys remember that horrible 2016 reboot of the Powerpuff Girls, which was an abysmal failure. And they didn't even have the decency to rename the show, so it's literally called the Powerpuff Girls, and everyone just assumes that it's the same show. It is not. It's completely different. 2016 Powerpuff Girls was filled with awkward animation and memes. I'm not surprised that they're going with a TV series route for this live-action reboot, though. Even the original animated series tried to do a movie, and it did not do very well in theaters for the sheer name of the series. The theory is no boys, even though they enjoyed the show, no boys would go to a theater to watch the Powerpuff Girls movie, which, by the way, was a great movie. Sean Edwards at Fox TV wrote, "Fantastic, 4 stars." It was also the only review on the DVD. Obviously, I was a big fan of the Powerpuff Girls, especially when I was younger. I mean, I loved everything that Craig McCracken did, but the Powerpuff Girls, it's got a special place in my heart. So let's actually get into this article. What is this live-action reboot going to be about? Who's going to work on it? I really hate this light in my face. How can I fix that? I think I made it worse. Alright, perfect. In the updated version of the series, the superheroes are now disillusioned 20-somethings who resent having lost their childhood to crime fighting. Will they agree to reunite now that the world needs them more than ever? So of course, for the CW series, they're not going to be in preschool anymore. They're going to be adults. I mean, I understand why you wouldn't want them to be in preschool anymore, but at least make them like teenagers. Why are we jumping straight to the adult? Just seems bizarre to me. I don't know. Regardless, we are losing a huge part of the Powerpuff Girls that makes the series charming, and that's the fact that they are 3 cute little preschool girls with insanely deadly power. But now instead we just have 3 regular superhero girls. And what they're doing here is they're gonna pull a Scooby-Doo on us, where they split up the gang and then they have to reunite. Oh, we're gonna work together, become friends again. And I'm told, I kid you not, I'm told that this is supposed to be the more gritty, edgy version of the Powerpuff Girls. That's what the Powerpuff Girls are known for. Gritty and edginess! But I mean, it is the CW, so that's really all they can do. They're not good at writing jokes. All they can do is make edge and hope that some teenagers like it. Or some middle-aged feminists. You know, they're both the same thing. I do kind of wonder though, if they're like aiming this at like teenagers and adults as like a gritty gritty version of the Powerpuff Girls. I almost wonder if they'll even keep the title Powerpuff Girls or if they'll want to rebrand to the original name of the Powerpuff Girls, which was the Whoop-Ass Girls. No, I'm not kidding. The original name for the Powerpuff Girls, the original concept, the original idea was that instead of Chemical X being mixed in with the concoction that creates them, it was a can of Whoop-Ass. So, hence the idea of why they're like these three cute little girls who can whoop some ass. But when Cartoon Network picked it up, of course, they changed the title. But hey, if you're aiming for the edgy teenage audience, then you might as well change it back. Go back to the Powerpuff Girls roots. How are they even going to do their origin story? They were literally created in a lab. And they're not even supposed to look like normal little girls necessarily. It's actually canon that they don't have any fingers, they don't have any noses, and they have giant eyes. Obviously, I don't think that any of that is going to translate into live action, so they're probably gonna just throw all that out. It's like, yeah, they're not mutant girls anymore. We couldn't do that because that would require CGI, and that would also look really creepy. Now I know what you're thinking. Who are the brilliant writers who will be working on this? Well, the project hails from writers and executive producers Heather Rangnier and Diablo Cody. Greg Berlanti, Sarah Schester, and David Madden will executive produce via Berlanti Productions. Woo! Oh, good old Berlanti Productions, responsible for all of those great superhero shows. That sounds like a great idea. Put them in charge. It's the same thing! It's the same thing! So obviously, it's obviously a bad idea. They're not really adapting the Powerpuff Girls. I think that's important to note in this video, that they're not actually adapting the Powerpuff Girls. It seems like they're just taking the brand and using it as a placeholder for a generic superhero show because they're not really using the elements from the Powerpuff Girls. And they don't want to use the elements from the Powerpuff Girls. They just want to create another superhero show with female protagonists. So this is obviously going to be a train wreck. People are obviously not gonna like it, but man, I can't wait to see that trailer for this show because I bet it'll be some great laughter fuel. And you know they're gonna throw lines of feminism in there. Oh, the lines of feminism. And some people also will mention the anime version of the Powerpuff Girls, which while I think was cute, I don't think that it's a good spot to pull inspiration from, because even though it did feature like the Powerpuff Girls as teenagers, it was pretty bland. The anime series was pretty bland. They recycled animations all the time. It wasn't that great. Anyway, be sure to let me know what you think about this horrible abomination down in the comments below. As usual, remember to like the video if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!
Program restart.